The Ruth Morley Design Award is given to a woman for outstanding work in the field of theatrical design. To present this award, please welcome back theatrical trailblazer and social activist, and our LPTW Rachel Crothers Leadership Award winner, Anna DeVere Smith.
I'm here to give the award to Amy Stoller. Amy is a professional dialect coach, but she's so much more than that. There's nobody like her. And she's so unusual and so brilliant and so close to me that I feel almost like a sister. And I've always wondered about her family. I've met them, but it means especially a lot to me to be sitting at the table with the Stoller family. If we could please recognize them as well. You know about singers who can crack crystal? I contend that Amy has ears that can crack the crystal of specific sounds out of the spoken word. She has fantastic ears, but she also has extraordinary empathy. This was evident within weeks of her beginning to work with me on my play, Let Me Down Easy. I had interviewed a woman in South Africa, Trudy Howell, who ran an orphanage for children who were dying of AIDS and whose parents had died of AIDS. I performed that woman during the first rehearsal, which in my case is always very, very long, and in the first reading. And in the break, I wanted to talk to Amy, and I didn't see her anywhere. So, where's Amy? An assistant quietly said that Amy was in the kitchen. I went into the kitchen, and there was Amy, sobbing over the sink. The assistant whispered, "Trudy." Trudy's tale was about a little girl named Nomza who was about to die and who was literally sitting on the steps of the orphanage, having packed all her clothes and teddy bears because her mother, who had passed, had visited her the night before and told her she was coming to get her. Nomza died that day. It's a powerful story. It ends the show of Let Me Down Easy. And well before, my relationship with Amy was about dissecting the sounds on the tape that I had made to get a respectable South African accent. I was introduced to the depth of Amy Stoller's empathy. She made a deep connection with the story, with Nomza, with Trudy Howell, deeper than any of us in that rehearsal hall had. Her work is not traditional dialect work. It is work that is done with gifted ears that most likely she inherited from people at that table, and a gifted heart that she no doubt inherited from people at that table and cultivated herself. In addition to that is her work ethic. She set a standard for me, myself, my movement coach, and the three of us took my project of creating persona through sounds and movement to a brand new level. It could never become what it did without Amy. Amy has been in the trenches with me. Any of you who are actors know the pressure of getting ready for a show, the pressure as you get closer to opening night. I recall sitting cross-legged with her one time in New Haven when I just couldn't get a certain individual who happened to be in the public eye. And sitting with her cross-legged, lamenting that I just couldn't get it, reminded me of my childhood, of those special friends that you would sit with to figure out how to get out of a pickle. I don't know what the expression "get out of a pickle" means, but if Amy and I were working on it, she would have looked it up and know the entire etymology by now. We overuse that word that starts with a G, and I try not to use words that are overused, but I must use that word as I say to you, I just could not have done what I do without the genius of Amy Stoller's listening and the genius of her heart. Thank you, Amy. I love you.
We asked James from the Roots to work with a Scottish dialect coach every day for 5 days. Here he is working with her earlier today.
I'm gonna skelt your wee bahookie.
I'm gonna skelt your wee bahookie.
Hey, I did the lyrics. See what you think.
Tonight you're mine completely.
What's going to happen to me if I don't pull it off with what's his name? Are you with Douglas?
What's said in one place is unsaid in another, and that's the great puzzle.
There's nobody.
Oh, he never trusts me. He leaves me so alone.
After all, Ginger Rogers did everything Fred Astaire did. She just did it backwards and in high heels.
Someone who's in training here, specializing in oncology, came into my room. I want to apologize, but we can't find your records. It means that the suffering and the pain that so many people have suffered have been redeemed.
I hope you can hear me. I'm used to working without a mic. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, nominating committee, members of the League, and co-presidents Katrine Hilbe and Ludovica Villahauser. It's an honor to be here among so many distinguished women of theater. Time constraints prevent me from naming everyone I'd like to thank, several of whom are sitting at my table. I must thank by name a few people without whom I would not be here today. My parents, Mike and Meryl Stoller. I also want to thank my dad for lending me an ear. The small business support group, Karen Atarovich, Paula Hoza, and Lynn Marie Macy. Jonathan Bank, artistic director of the Mint Theater Company, which incidentally has produced Rachel Crothers. 25 years ago, he gave a rank beginner a start. And here we are, 40-something shows later. I wouldn't be here without his belief in me. Anna DeVere Smith, who's gonna make me cry again. Trying to keep up with this extraordinary artist has made me a better dialectician and, incidentally, a better person. I wouldn't be here without the trust she places in me. The Ruth Morley Design Award means more to me than an appreciation of my personal career, as gratifying as that is. It recognizes my discipline as a design field in the theater. That is something I've worked hard for more than 20 years, not just for myself, but also for my many accent and dialect colleagues in the theater, many of whom, like me, are working to improve the quality of dialect work with respect for the people whose stories are being told and represented, and to combat linguistic prejudice wherever we encounter it. It also may help us to form a union. So on my colleagues' behalf, as well as my own, I am proud and happy to receive this recognition and this honor. Thank you all.